here. Wanted to do a special Facebook Live this morning. You may have seen the announcements, but brought our on-demand simple estimate expert Josh on here. Wanted to talk about the shifts in buying habits and how consumers demand online and on-demand shopping like they have basically from the starting of that post-COVID shift. So Josh, if people haven't heard about you or haven't seen you before, if you want to give a quick intro and we'll dive in, but I'm really interested to see what you're seeing working knee to knee with a lot of lawn care and landscape companies right now, and what they're seeing in their offices as far as sales stats.
Definitely. Yeah. So my name's Josh. I owned a lawn care business up in Michigan, full service, about 8 years, sold about a year and a half ago. Jumped on board with SimpleGrowth. Now I'm heading up Simple Estimate. It was actually a SimpleGrowth client before I sold. So basically what I kind of start telling people is, with, like you mentioned, the buying shift that's happened since COVID and just continues to keep scaling and growing towards getting more to be more of an on-demand search that people have. I phrase it to people this way. If you were to go to Amazon and if you saw, let's just say, a pair of shoes, and if there was a button that says, hey, click here to get more info, we'll give you a date you can expect the shoes to be delivered, how much they are, to where Amazon wouldn't be where they are today. The whole thing of Amazon is to go on there, buy what you're looking for, and then have it delivered, right? To where in the green industry, we're still stuck with, hey, fill out this form. Within 1 to 2 days, we'll get back to you with a price for what service you're looking for. It just seems absolutely insane. The technology is out there. It just, until now, hasn't really made it to the green industry yet.
Yeah, couldn't agree with you more. And so that's one of the things that we're seeing, obviously, is a major shift, and the companies that are winning are creating the ability for the client to basically choose their own adventure. So maybe they do want them to come out and actually do an in-person estimate, but I'd say 95% of these clients, potential clients and leads, are looking to actually just check that checkbox on their to-do list and get that done. And as we're looking at this, there's a lot of different ways that we're seeing to actually do this. So we've done a couple case studies how to actually use on-demand buying inside your business. The first of which is literally having a widget on your website where somebody can go in and actually type their address. The satellite imagery comes up and they can literally color the service area with the finger or mouse for the lawn area, the driveway area, for pavement sealing or snow removal. And it's going to be an online checkout where we can grab a PCI compliant credit card form, depending on the software it connects with, and actually get that into the software. The second thing, Josh, that we're seeing is really going through estimate upsells, basically. So at SimpleGrowth, we send out these upsells on a basically timed out area throughout the year. In the email, there's a button traditionally to request an estimate. What we've seen now is being able to supplement that button to actually click the button and pull up a live on-demand estimate for your clients. And really the time savings here is amazing for the actual business owner and the client. But with a SimpleGrowth upsell, we're seeing an average of 60 to 80 estimate requests in the first 24 to 48 hours. So a lot of business owners will literally call us and say, hey, we just don't even have time to do all these requests. Why don't you shut off the last basically reach out? But now we have the ability for them to actually go in and click and get a live estimate, close, and update their card on file if that's required. Now, the third and final way, Josh, that we've done and seen this, we've done some case studies with a gentleman, Tyler Grimes at Integrity Sealing, based on the sealing area there. But Tyler went in and pulled out about 3 different versions of these flyers here. And you can see the QR code over here, maybe over here, where people can click and actually get a live estimate. But Tyler had a total of 3 of these, all different copies that went out. And we used a product called SendJim to do that. And with the SendJim integration, we're able to go in and highlight an exact neighborhood. And with that neighborhood, we did a total of 3 mailings, drops. And these were probably the most expensive drops you could do. But we wanted to see how they converted. And the rough numbers, not including the estimating software, is he had about an 8% return on a cold mailing. He'd never talked to him, and he closed those estimates at 57%. So with some rough math, his client acquisition cost, what it cost him to actually acquire a new client through that mailing, was about $30. So I don't know about you, Josh, but we were running 125 to 150 for a client acquisition model to be able to go out and target the exact neighborhood that we're already in, or the adjoining neighborhoods, to build route density and have an on-demand system where they could go in, just in Tyler's here, hit this QR code and literally get live pricing and sign up and get a credit card on file so they're ready to go, has been a massive win. And I know you've got a couple other things you want to break into, but I want to put some interesting things that have shifted in the market as I'm sitting here. And I wasn't planning on talking about this, but Tyler's allowed us to use him as a case study. So I don't know if you remember these guys here, Josh, but these are, might be dating myself. These are right out of Valpak.
I remember them.
So what you got is basically an envelope about 15 to 20 different advertisers. They're non-competing. So Tyler went in and tried Valpak, and I'll be honest, I'm like, I don't know if that's really going to work. We didn't have much success with it. But believe it or not, I was talking to Jonas Olson yesterday. We were on the Pest Control Millionaire podcast, and Jonas is actually seeing the same resurgence of Valpak working. But what we've done with Tyler here is we've gone in and added this QR code. And to track it, to get you guys the stats, we've had two separate QR codes, one for the mailing I just told you at Send Jim, and one for the one in Valpak. And believe it or not, the Valpak worked just as good within a few percent as the direct mail we did through Send Jim. So if you're looking at ways to really push that gas pedal going into the fall season, when we're making those bottom line profits for a very small investment, we can go out and literally put this on our website so it's not eating up our bandwidth, instant estimates. We can go out and use a product like Send Jim. And if you're interested, Simple Estimate has a separate package that costs you nothing on Send Jim, where we have pre-templated postcards that you can actually use. They're ready to go for you. And then in addition, you can use the on-demand buying on your upsells. And when we click a button, it pulls it up. And then the third and basically fourth version would be going out and doing some of these direct mailings as well. So Josh, I know it was a lot, but I want to give people a quick overview of kind of what this is all about, because some of this is really not new. It's just adding the ability to click with your phone through a QR code or hit the website and literally be able to buy on demand and capture a credit card.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of people, I think, as a business owner, it's like you think if you're making something more convenient for your client, it's more of a strain on you. It's more of a headache for the office, which it completely is the exact opposite. It's more convenient. In Tyler's case, with him closing 57%, that is zero interaction with his office staff. So his office staff can be focused on, higher task items like, finding good people. So that's still an issue going on, kind of setting the vision for the company and really just driving all of the higher level task items that need to be done. Another thing is, timing, as far as like the timing of when people are requesting these estimates, most of them are after hours when they're closed. Timing, there's a research shows that purchases online and, service estimate requests, they follow people's timing in their general life, right? 8, 9 o'clock at night, they get the kids down in bed finally, mom and dad have a couple minutes to chill out. Like you said earlier, they're trying to check items off their to-do list. So if you're
9 o'clock,
yeah, right,
you're doing something right. I'm struggling 9:30. So
well, that's for another topic. But it's like if you can be open 24/7 like Amazon is, that's what's going to change and set you apart from your competitors. If I were to go onto a website knowing what I know, and if there's a website A that says, hey, fill out this estimate request form, or a website B that says, hey, we can give you a price right now and you can sign up, I would pick website B to where I can check that off my to-do list. There's another study that research show that they'll actually pay 70% of consumers will pay more just based on convenience. So just being able to sign up when they're ready and actively looking to sign up, they're willing to pay more. So it's a win-win for convenience and also for your bottom line.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. So that's what we're seeing a lot with this on-demand buying. So really the idea here is that we need to be able to go out in your service business, particularly lawn care business right now, as we're ramping up for snow removal or the continued season in the southern markets. The companies that are winning are actually going in and doing this. So if you're unfamiliar, SimpleGrowth is actually purchased an existing software company. We've rebranded it. It's called Simple Estimate. We've actually gone out and invested about 5.5, 6 months refining the system and really getting the system to where it can grow and scale and support its users. So Simple Estimate, it's simpleestimatesystems.com with an S if you want to look at more and actually demo this. But the idea is this was a missing piece in my business. And as the technology shift, we started working with on-demand bots. The technology with the AI was not there yet. So we actually went in and bought a software platform called Simple Estimate now, where we can actually help business owners of lawn care and snow removal and pavement services drive off a satellite image. We also have invested heavily in AI, artificial intelligence. And that shift is just starting to come there. So the speed with some of the AI, especially in some of the existing platforms, is just not there, but we are investing in that. And we're thinking the next 10 to 14 weeks, the AI itself actually should be seasoned enough for the machine learning to give very predictable estimates with a quick fashion. So we are, as we're looking at Simple Estimate, Simple Growth, we're always looking for that next shift in technology, next shift in buying habits. So that was part of the reason why Josh said, hey, Mike, we really need to hop on and kind of do some quick education here, kind of make people aware of this, because if you're seeing some of your sales flatline, or if you're seeing the ability to get out an estimate, if you're doing it manually within one business day or less, that's good, but people are demanding it a lot sooner. And Amazon, DoorDash, Netflix, goes on and on. Those services right now are not helping the service industry, because they need the service industry. In my opinion, Josh, we need to adapt to that on-demand buying habits. So if you're interested in kind of seeing what this looks like, want to demo yourself with some of your actual clients, feel free to book a call with us at sgecall.com, where Josh or one of the Simple Estimate team members would actually join you. The cool thing is, everybody on the Simple Estimate team and most of the people on the SimpleGrowth team have actually owned lawn care businesses, or still do multi-seven figures, or at least beyond seven figures. We understand how things have to work inside your lawn care business or pavement services. And this is just really the next step, as we brought to you with SimpleGrowth on the umbrella automations 5 or 6 years ago. That was kind of the bleeding edge that we had experienced in my company 8 or 9 years ago. As we're continuing to go to bring these products to help business owners take their life back from the business and buy that time back and have predictable profits, this is just the X evolution that we're starting to bring to the lawn care industry, Josh. So I don't know if you have any reflection on that, but I just kind of want to put some context to that, because this is really our passion is to help business owners and to time management and create that work-life balance. And if you're out there doing these estimates and you're working all day, and then instead of going home with the family, you got to go out and do 5 or 6 or 10 estimates at night, that's tough. But I mean, in Tyler's situation, he's still on the truck most of the time. So Tyler needed a solution where, how can I actually work with the guys and manage the trucks in the field, but still have these estimates getting done? So I think it was last month, he had 50 sales alone with credit card on file. That literally just happened automatically while he was out in the truck managing or helping the guys in the field. So really, it's not just a large $750,000 to $1 million beyond company. You could be at 250,000, maybe even a little less. But if you have a website or social media or door hangers that's driving traffic, or even on the side of your truck or trailer with a QR code, this is going to be a tool that buys time back and literally allows a company at 100 to 200 or 300,000 to compete with the companies that are running marketing budgets and advertising, a $5-6 million company, because the technology, the on-demand shift right now is literally leveling the field for the smaller companies, allowing them to scale a lot quicker than they normally would.
Yeah, absolutely. And the only thing I would add to that with the Amazon part is, Amazon has already leaked into so many different markets and different offerings. They've got pharmacies now. It's just all the different things. If we don't take advantage of the technology that's out there now, Amazon will. They're always looking to expand into different markets and different verticals. So this is our chance to have a little piece of that pie, to where we can kind of, possibly keep Amazon from kind of coming in and taking, like what Uber did to the taxis, right?
And Josh, I hate to burst your bubble, but honestly, this was not scripted beforehand. Believe it or not, in some markets, we're actually seeing right now Amazon Home Services. So you can actually go in some markets to actually buy lawn care on demand from Amazon. So if you want to compete with the players and different national franchises with fertilization and weed control, the big players are already starting to adopt this in some markets. Now, one of the big fertilizing companies that we're all aware of does a lot of the estimates in person, but like in my market and a few of the other markets are actually doing on-demand estimating, just like we're talking about here with AI and color features. Amazon Home Services, same exact thing. They're starting to adopt some on-demand buying as well, and not just capturing the lead and creating an estimate with certified vendors in these areas. So the shift is already happening, Josh. And I'm glad you talked about that, the taxi cab drivers. So, I mean, when you went to a taxi driver, 10 years ago and say, hey, this little phone here is going to put you out of business, they thought you were nuts. But I tell you what, it has shifted. So I think that if you own a home service business, especially lawn care, fertilization, weed control, or pavement services and snow removal, it's not if, it's when this shift's going to happen on a wholesale basis. So you have the ability to be first to market and actually dominate your market if this is something you're doing. Whether you do it with Simple Estimate, you do it yourself, you do it with somebody else, yourself or somebody else. This, in my opinion, is the next shift that's already starting to happen. So we really wanted to come on and just really talk about how to be the early adopter in your market and offer on-demand shopping. And Josh, I know you've talked to a lot of people that have been utilizing Simple Estimate and signing up. But one of the things that we're seeing is a lot of the consumers like the ability to emotionally color in the service area. Now we're investing in the AI. We're going to be releasing that in the fall once we're comfortable with the speed with it. But really, a lot of folks right now haven't psychologically shifted to the AI automated measuring. They like the confidence of coloring the service area because they know their property and they trust it. So Josh, I don't know if you want to speak to that, but I know you've been seeing a lot of that with the calls you've been having.
Yeah, absolutely. It does. It's kind of that psychological aspect to where it's like, hey, I have that experience. It's more of an experience setup for them to where I colored in my own property. I got to see the square footage that I colored in as it was coloring it in. It's not just, hey, I pushed a button, it popped something up, and then here's your prices, right? It's like there's that emotional connection to them that, hey, I literally prepared my own estimate for myself. It sounds crazy and goofy, but that's what it is. It's like there's such a people wanting to be in like kind of contact and connection with the technology instead of just pushing a button and something happening. You actually have a little bit of input from them personally, and that ties them even emotionally to your company.
And Josh, I know we weren't planning on demoing this, but I don't know if you've got on your other screen, if you pull it up and maybe we could pop it in here. But I think a lot of people probably are thinking about, what does this actually look like? What's the consumer experience? Good news is, obviously, if you're interested, you can hit us up at sgecall.com and do a live demo with Josh. You can put in some of your properties, see what it looks like, how it operates. If you're going to be out and about in October, Landscape Summit, sponsored by Mike Andes, the Simple Growth and Simple Estimate team will be there. I'll be actually giving 2 keynote talks regarding dominating your market and the 5 stages of automating your business. Josh and the team from Simple Estimate will be there in a separate booth, literally with a couple of giant TVs where you can actually see and interact with this live. If you're going to be in Dallas, Texas in November, we're also going to be at SA's conference Serve Edge as well, with a booth for Simple Estimate. So you can actually go and experience this live, see what it looks like. But I'm telling you, this is the shift that I experienced with my lawn care company with automations. We literally went in and dominated neighborhoods and markets, and the competition had no idea what we were doing. This is going to be the next shift. So if you're worried about low ballers and people going out and quoting and undercutting you, like Josh said, the statistics and the studies are showing right now that people are going to buy more expensive services if they know, like, and trust you, and they can do it on their time. And that's what we're talking about here, the ability to give the consumer to buy on their time when they're ready and not when it's convenient for you as the business owner. So Josh gave a great analogy, but the other analogy that we look at is like literally going into a big box store like Best Buy, and you're buying a big, large screen TV around the holiday season. It's cash in hand, ready to buy it, and you go to buy it, and no one's at the register. There's a clipboard, and it literally says, put your name, your address, your email, and we'll call you back when we're ready to sell you the TV. I don't know about you, Josh, but I'm going on my phone. I'm hitting Amazon and probably getting next day delivery for that TV and probably getting it the same price or better. The idea is that if you don't have the ability for someone to at least choose the option of on-demand buying, you're literally going to tell them to keep going down the list in Google or Facebook to find your competitor. So, Josh, I know I kind of put you on the spot there. I don't know if you can share your screen. Off to the left, there's a little screen share
Yeah, sure.
here. And let me see if I can pull this up. And all right, let me see if I can do a little magic here, brother.
Okay, it should be sharing. So
yeah, no, it is. We're good.
Okay.
And I'm going to pop off and pull this up so people can see this a little bigger on the bigger part.
Okay, cool. Let me know when we're good.
All right, we're good. Little Facebook magic. I got us on the bottom. I got this on top. I don't think we're going to be able to replicate this again. But if you're watching, you're wondering what on-demand buying actually looks like. This would be a widget that would actually be put on your website, and this is how we're attacking on-demand buying, like your Amazon, your Netflix, your DoorDash, your Uber. And people are willing to pay a higher price if they can do it on their terms and check it off the checkbox. So Josh, you're the one who's been kind of running the show over here on this. So I'm going to let you take the wheel and kind of explain what's going on here.
Sounds good. All right. So basically, like Mike said, this gets installed on your website. This form here, the form book is going to be an HTML code that gets installed directly on your website. They go through, enter their address, first name, last name, all their contact info. If you want to display a price that's higher for gated properties, or even just pre-qualify them. I know in my lawn care company, I had to have a gate that was at least 36 inches to get in the backyard. So based on their answers that say, hey, I don't have a gate, or I have a gate that's larger than 36 inches, we can show different pricing for that if you guys charge a higher price for gated property. Basically, they'll just go through, click continue after they enter their information. We'll show them a quick little demo on what we want them to do, just to clarify what we're looking for them to do, color in the grass area, and then save it. We'll go through, and they'll actually just start, whether on desktop or mobile. I'm just do this a little haphazardly to kind of speed it up a bit. But as I'm coloring this in, you can see the top right corner is actually updating the square footage that I'm measuring as I'm measuring it. So once this is that emotional tie with the client psychologically, that they're like, hey, I actually helped prepare part of my estimate. We're looking at about 3,264 square feet right here. They'll go ahead and click Save or See Estimate. We actually take a screenshot of this measurement that was made. And I'll show you towards the end of it where that comes back into play to where you can verify the measurement. Because a lot of people, they might just want the front yard service. If you're a FERT company, they might just want the front yard. They might not be really concerned with the back. They just want that front curb appeal. From here, we'll show them services. These are the basic services that people are selling with it. It's the ones that people are Googling most often, right? So if somebody's saying lawn mowing near me, fertilizing near me, that's what we want to meet them where they're at. What they're looking for is what we want to provide to them. We can offer weekly or bi-weekly services to where they can only add one or the other to the cart. Any aeration, overseeding, FERT, if you guys have 2-3 different packages, like a good, better, best, we can accommodate that. Show the seasonal pricing or the per app pricing. Cleanups, I know I did, my cleanups were priced out hourly with a minimum. We can accommodate hourly, a rate matrix price, or like a fixed rate. Irrigation, winterization, and startups, we can also accommodate that based on either the number of zones or even the square footage. We've helped people derive pricing for number of zones based off of the turf square footage also. Once they go through and click checkout, we're going to take them to their shopping cart, show them what they've added to the cart. The billing terms, if you're using Service Autopilot, it's completely integrated to where they can come through and use that secure clearance credit card capture form. They go through, they update their credit card, review the terms and conditions. All of this stuff is customizable. This is just a chunk from what I had in my company of my terms and conditions. They go through, they'll click order. It's just going to show them an order completion page. It'll show them basically their confirmation number. And then when you get an order, we will actually send you an email that says, hey, I literally just went through and ordered. Here's my contact info. Here's that screenshot of the measurement that was made that I mentioned before, along with the actual square footage measurement and the services that I purchased them for. So no matter what CRM you're using, if you're even using a CRM, we have people that are using this standalone with no CRM, and people who are using Service Autopilot, Jobber, Copilot is going to be the next one. Even Yardbooks, people are using this with. The workflow can go from here into any CRM. Obviously, we fully integrate with Service Autopilot, but your workflow would literally be to any CRM is to have this email up on one screen, your CRM in the other, and literally copy and paste this info over. We have a little bit more detailed integration with Service Autopilot. Obviously, all of this info would already be entered into SA, as well as the purchase services that were purchased with the prices. All of this stuff is completely pushed into SA. So that's pretty much the quick little rundown. Hope I didn't go too fast, but I know people watching this probably got other stuff to do than listen to me blab on. So.
No, Josh, that was awesome. So if you're interested in checking out more about Simple Estimate on-demand buying, the new shift in buying habits, how to outlearn and out-adopt your competition, hit us up at SimpleGrowthSystems.com. Or if you want to book a free demo with Josh or somebody on the Simple Estimate team, SGE call.com, sgecall.com. And if you mention this live Facebook Live, we will get you in for a free concierge service to set you up, normally $597. But if you mention this Facebook Live, we'll get you in and waive the $597 one-on-one setup fee, where you can sit knee to knee with one of our experts to get your services matrices set in and a go live call. So Josh, thanks again, brother. Appreciate it. sgecall.com, and look forward to talking to you guys and explaining the next shift in buying habits. Thanks, Josh.
Yep. Thank you, Mike. See you.